Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So this is Cash's birthday, his 8th birthday, and we're here to do a live stream and talk to everybody and answer your questions. All right, here we go. We got our first person here. You're right, you are first. Okay, fantastic. So I'm not sure how big our audience is going to be. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as we can. Look at this. Cash is coming over here and he's like, Dad, what are we doing? Let's see if we can get Cash in the picture over here. Come here, Cash. You're the star here. There you go. I'm using the camera that's built into the laptop here, so I may have to aim it a little bit. But let's take a look here. A couple of moments. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Well, Loser 2004, you are first. Flora, Al, Eric, how you doing? So this is your chance to ask me some questions. We'll talk a little bit about Cash. Okay, we got Jay, Flora, Zazbil, Nathy. Oh, wow, it's really starting to go. Here we go. So this is great. Oh, and thank you. Here we go. Denmark, scratch Cash's ears for me. Get over here, Cash. Come on, come on. He wants to go back in the house. Come on, over here. Come here, come here, come here. Come on. Come on, this is your party. Come here. Okay. Cash is like, wait a minute here. We're going to scratch his ears. There we go. See, isn't that nice? Oh, look, he almost licked me there, which is kind of a first for him. So probably we're going to start losing some daylight, but I've got some lights set up over here. And I want to do this outside. I think it's just much more fun when we're outside here. It's a little more scenic. Got the backyard in the background over here. And, well, because it's winter time, it's not really swimming pool season yet. But, you know, let's see. So let's see what we've got going here. First, just to get started, just to remind everybody, remember, this is your channel. Okay, I do this for you. Okay, this is not something that I do for the purpose of making income. Yes, it's a monetized channel, but you are first to me. I still have no sponsors, right? I don't beg for subscribers or ask you for money or favors. This is a hobby. I do this for you. I love Great Danes. I love my audience, and I enjoy being a YouTube content creator. And we've met a lot of people along the way. If you notice in some of my videos, you know, people will come up, hey, is that Cash 2.0? Are you Steve? And, you know, we're always happy to see everybody. If you see me in public somewhere and you want to say hi, hey, I don't bite. And neither does Cash, right? Come on over. You can meet Cash. You can ask me any questions you want. You can get a handshake from Cash. You get an opportunity to be in a YouTube video if you like too. So I'm very proud of this dog. He's just a little, well, no, he's not a little miracle. He's my big miracle. And we're going to keep making videos. Now, being 8 years old, he's getting into some more of his senior years. But, you know, he's doing really well. And, you know, and I want to give a shout out over here. And the biggest shout out I have really is to Annette from Captains, his breeder. Without her, Cash 2.0 would not exist. And you know what? He has litter mates, too. So it's not just Cash's 8th birthday. We've also got Ty, we've got Vito, Auntie, Emerald. So we've got, there's other litter mates of Cash that are also celebrating their birthday today. And we do have a birthday cake. Okay, I'll be showing you that in a few moments. And Cash is going to, and let's see if we can get Cash to eat some of that cake too. So Cash may go in and out of the frame over here. He's acting like he wants to go back in the house, but he's going to need to stay out here and celebrate with us. I want to give a shout out also to Betty Joe, who's Cash's show handler and took him to his championship. We're here in Best in Breed. Cash is looking at me like, why aren't you opening that door so I can go back in? Yeah. I want to give also a great shout out to anybody who's involved in rescuing Great Danes, because that's such a noble breed. We don't want these dogs to stay in the shelter. We want them to get out and get loving homes. You know that Cash is an adopted dog. So I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Renee, who from Indian Dane Rescue, and he was one of my mentors. When I first said, you know, hey, look, I think I want to get a Great Dane. And Renee really mentored me, took me under his wing, and I'm very grateful to him. We got Bert from Gentle Giants. We've got Susan from One Day at a Time. We've got Kathy from Great Dane Friends. And of course, the entire Great Dane Club of California, the GDCC. They really they really helped me out and educated me. And they've stood by me like I've stood by them. So it's a wonderful group, the Dane people, we'll call them, right? Okay. Now, all dogs should be rescued. All dogs deserve a loving home. And of course, you can see I'm giving Cash a little scratch here. This is his favorite right here as the sun is setting here in the San Fernando Valley. And I've got some really bright lights that are going to be coming on. I can really light this backyard up. So it's not going to get too dark on us. And so basically, I'm just kind of having this as an open forum. Okay. I don't really have a lot to cover. There is one, other than we're going to give Cash his birthday cake, and we're going to try to get him to eat some. Hey, I'll eat some. Yeah, more for me if he doesn't want it, but I have a feeling he's going to take some. Also, I wanted to run something by you too. We're always looking for new adventurous things to do. And no, Cash, he says, my adventure is I want you to pay attention to me. And, politics can be a touchy subject, right? But the one person who's been very kind to us is our council member, John Lee, District 12, which is the kind of the north and somewhat west San Fernando Valley. And he's been so good to us. He's put on so many events. I wouldn't have met Eric. I met Eric, who was, I went to junior high with him, right? And he has Rowdy, of course. And, when you rehook up with somebody from that far back from junior high, of course, you got to rekindle that friendship again. I was hoping he could join us on this live stream, but, he's kind of busy. He's got some things going on at home. His wife is back from vacation. So, he's got a lot of things going on over there. And, he's got to take care of the horses. He's got just such beautiful horses. I think he said he did some videos showing some of his draft horses. You should see the size of these. And they're absolutely gorgeous. And, he just really connects with those horses. His horses are lucky to have him. And, but I had mentioned to John Lee at one time, I said, you're always so kind to us. You come and you say hi to us, and these events that he puts on, that's why you see those canopies that say John Lee. I said, if there's ever anything I can do for you, let me know. Now, he's an independent, so we're not kind of taking sides with, lefts and rights. He's an independent and just a really great guy. And, he's coming up for re-election. I'd like to know, how would you feel if I made maybe a YouTube short and just let him say a few things about why he'd like to be reelected for District 12? Does anybody have any opposition to that? Because I'd love to let him say something. And he did initially express some interest, but I can reach out to him again. And of course, Cash 2.0 will be in there. So I said, that's one of the conditions. You got to have Cash 2.0 with you. So let me know what you think about that, because I think it would be kind of cool. If you think about it, we're so involved in Southern California and the city of Los Angeles. Imagine, if we could actually get some FaceTime with somebody who, if you think about a council person, that's just a step down from mayor. So, they divide it up into districts, and I think that would be really cool. Yeah, Cash for president. Why not? I think that would be great. Cash promises a fire hydrant on every corner, right? And every street would have a park. See, it says right here, seeing John, the Scooter Baby one, seen John Lee in a lot of your videos. I have no problem with it. I'm going to be reaching out to him. I mean, it's ultimately up to him. There's John Lee banners all over, but, there are other people who want to be District 12 council person too. But John has been especially kind to us and kind of like to return that favor. So let's take a look at what you've got to say on that. Let's see. Happy birthday. There you go. Well, thank you. We've had such an overwhelming response. I'm really humbled by everybody wishing Cash a happy birthday. He's such a special dog. And I'm still working on trying to get that interview with the breeder when I can show you some of his litter mates. And I know going down to San Diego has been on our list for a long time. We've just been really, really busy lately. But let's take a look at what some of you are all saying here. And it says, here we go. Is Cash running for office? If he could somehow get the work done by curling up and sleeping on a dog bed, he would be perfect for the job, because that's a lot of what he does all day. It's been a while taking Cash to Venice Beach. That's true. And you know what? I'd like to do that one with Rowdy too. So that'd be kind of cool to also get the mini horse down there as well. Let's see. Any more videos of Cash at dog parks or interacting with other dogs? I'll be making all kinds of videos. We're going to do everything that we possibly can. In fact, I'm going to be reaching out to LAPD SWAT. I want to see if we can get him interacting with their robot dog. That's been on my list for the longest time, but things are really busy in the last few months of the year, and so I hadn't quite gotten around to it, but I'm going to reach out to them. Remember, we have a video where Cash is shaking hands with Chief Michael Moore, Chief of Police, LAPD, came over and he's shaking hands. I noticed all the stars on his uniform, and I see, Officer Moore. I'm like, oh, he's the Chief of Police. So maybe we've got some ins here that we can do that. I'd like to do more with law enforcement and sworn officers, because I think it's really cool if we can interact with them. We've actually gone to some meetings at the Devonshire Division Police Department, and it was a lot of fun over there. And let's see, here we go. Next time we Rodeo Drive, pop into Diamond Peter Marco. Yeah, he's always loved to see Cash, so we will definitely do that. Can you shout out my cat, Jurassic Bee? Hey, shout out. I love cats. And so does Cash. He's very gentle with cats. He's curious about them. And I even asked his breeder, Annette, about that. And they said, oh, yeah, he was raised with cats. So, he doesn't want to hurt them. He loves them like everything else. And he plans to do dog meetups at the beach. Yeah. When we get to some better weather, yes, we'll go back. That's Rosie's Dog Beach. And maybe we can even do some Huntington Dog Beach as well. That's another really good one over there. It says, Wayne Bates says, hey, Steve, what's the best advice you can give a dog owner when it comes to overfeeding your dog? Do you measure Cash 2.0's food out? Cash sort of regulates his own. I get out there with my measuring cups and I'll put it in there and kind of fill his bowl, but he'll only eat what he wants and he'll walk away and maybe come back later. Talk to your vet or your breeder about how to feed, as far as whether free feeding is a good idea or not. Giant breed dogs like Cash, they can be prone to bloat and torsion, which is where they get the gas in their stomach and it causes big problems. So take the advice of your vet or your breeder when it comes to feeding. Your breeder knows your dog best because that's their lines. If you adopted the dog, talk to the adoption agency. There's also some good forums out there, but some of these people are kind of armchair advice. Make sure that they're qualified to really give you advice. Can you give Cash a birthday kiss for me? If I can get him in the camera, I will. He's like, get your hands off of me. Well, that's as close as I could get it. He's like, no, I don't think so, but come here, you. Oh, love you. He says, okay, if you really love me, give me some food, and we're going to be doing that. In fact, I even brought a little piece of pizza over that I've been saving for him. So we'll kind of, you say prime the pump a little bit before we give him the cake. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give him some pizza because I know he's going to like that. See, Cash is a real creature of routine. He knows that at this point, it's about, time to pay attention to me, go feed him. So he's kind of thinking like, what are we doing out here? Let's go inside, fill up my dog bowl. Okay, let's see. Let's take with some of the comments. Okay, how often does Cash get groomed? I would say about once a week. Once a week, I brush him. I do his nails with a Dremel. I don't use a clipper because I don't want to hit the quick and cause him any discomfort. They don't like the noise of the Dremel, of course, but he knows, and he's a good sport about it. They need a good brushing once in a while. Otherwise, of course, you got a lot of dog hair all over. What's the most negative reaction someone has had to Cash 2.0? Well, sometimes people can be a little bit afraid of dogs. It's rare that we run into that. But I would say the Santa Monica video where the guy used some very bad words directed at us, and well, he had his 15 minutes of fame for doing that. So, will Cash GoPro be back this year? Yeah, I've still got that costume. We can do that. I should do more live streams. Well, yeah, we can do live streams regularly. I'm always open to my audience, and just so you know, again, I say this every time. I always read the comments. I read them all every single day. What food the Cash doesn't like? He actually is very picky. Now, he loves chicken. He loves pizza. I can give this dog even some of the dog cookies and even put it in his dish, and he'll actually walk. He'll look at it like, what's that? And he'll turn around and walk away from it. So he's kind of funny. I remember when he was 4. Yeah, he was 3.5 when I got him. So you've been with us for a long time. Thank you for watching our videos. What did Cash get for his birthday? Well, he got lots of attention, and he's going to get a cake. And get a shirt with Cash's stats on there. There you go. We'll work on that. Um, his favorite foods, definitely pizza. He's not so big on ice cream, though. I was kind of surprised about that. My other dog, Kimba, he just about take your arm off. Kimba was a little different. I could say, we're going to McDonald's, and he knew exactly what that meant. So he's really something. What sweet treats does Cash like? Well, he better like that cake I made for him. Let's hope. Here goes. Eric says, yeah, I remember that guy. I hated that guy. That was uncalled for. You know, I try to do as little editing as possible. And there's really no expectation of privacy when you're in public. So, you know, if a person wants to do something that's really just generally socially wrong, well, you know, like the old TV show, when you least expect it, you're elected, you're the star of the day. Hey, you're on candid camera. So Cash should get his own event. There you go. From France. There you go. Ah, and there's a kiss for Cash again. Mwah. You stick around, Cash. And let's see what we've got here. Okay, here we go. Does he like Vita Bones or Milk Bones? Sometimes. Sometimes he will and sometimes he won't. Can Cash eat a Big Mac on camera? Well, if I put it in his dish, I think he would. My favorite is the In-N-Out burger. In-N-Out burger is just awesome. And can I hear him bark? Okay, I'm going to try. I can't guarantee he will. If the doorbell rings or someone knocks at the door, I'm going to go knock on the door and let's just see. I don't know if this is going to fool him. Cash, who's that? Hey, who is it? Let's go get him. It didn't work. He's looking at me like, yeah, right. Let's see. Would Cash eat French fries? Yes. My dad loves In-N-Out burger and he always gets fries. And Cash will just come up and put his head right on his arm. And my dad feeds him fries. He does. Do you brush his teeth regularly? We do. I do clean them and I even scale them. I have a scaler that'll even scale his teeth if he gets a little bit of tartar on him. So yeah. Let's see here. Are you going to visit other countries? It would be kind of difficult, I think, to get to another country. Mexico's not that far, but you know, it'd be kind of difficult, I think, to get to another country. But there's a lot of things we can see around here. What was it like when you and Cash first met? Okay, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, Alexandra. Well, as the story goes, and I've told this to people in some of my videos, that I was online to get a puppy from Annette from Captain's, and the litter just didn't go through. And she said, you know, I have this dog that was returned to me. He's with his handler right now, Cash 2.0. And but he doesn't like men. I said, well, really? She says, why don't you come down to the City of Industry Dog Show and let's see if he likes you. So I went down there, and the first thing, and she says, and he's big. First thing I did when I went down there is I'm like, wow, he really is big. He's so much bigger than the dog I had before, Kimba. So the handler, Betty, she went off to show another dog out in the ring, and Cash is like jumping up and down, and he's all excited, like, Betty, come over here, you know, pay attention to me. So I go into the ring, and Cash just completely ignored me. So I went up and I petted him a couple of times, and then I walked to the other side of the pen. And Cash realized that Betty wasn't coming back right away, so he came up to me. And I gave him another scratch behind his ear. And then I went to the other side of the pen, and it kept going back and forth and back and forth. And finally, Annette comes over and says, hey, that dog likes you. So they figure at that point, we're going to take it to the next level and, you know, do the home checks and make sure that I can properly care for him and so on. And 5 months later, I end up with Cash 2.0. So that's kind of the story told again. Let's see. You should get some of your Dane friends together and do a mass Dane walk on Rodeo. That would be awesome. You know what? That's a great idea. I should contact my friend Erda over at the Long Beach Great Dane meetup group. And we got a couple people over there in the Long Beach Great Dane meetup group. And maybe we can do that. Maybe we can get a dog walk together, because that's the group that I meet with to go to the dog beach. So we could do some Dane meetups and actually go to some different places and have a bunch of Danes. You know, if one Dane is fun, a whole bunch of Danes can only be more fun. Let's take a look here. What are you planning? What are you and Cash planning for summer when May comes? Well, we're going to let the weather be our guide. We're having what they call an El Nino winter, and that means things are a little unpredictable. We had something called the atmospheric river. We got like 6 inches of rain in a couple of days. Then the weather got nice. And now we've got another atmospheric river that's going to hit Sunday night through Tuesday. But, you know, at some point, when the spring gets here, the weather's going to improve, and we'll do some beach meetups, and we're going to always be looking for new places to go. We have our favorites. We're always going to be going to the Grove. You know, the Northridge Fashion Center. Remember, I've got over 50 videos there, and then all of a sudden these signs went up that said no pets, and even went as far as to say you can't carry your pet, you can't have your pet in a stroller. And I was there last weekend, and the signs are still there. So apparently they're just not as dog friendly as they used to be. If that opportunity ever opens up again, we'll be back, and we'll be looking for new places to go to. But for right now, the Westfield Outdoor Mall has been really good. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Tim Burks. Hey, Steve, we know a lot about Cash, but what about you? What do you do for a living? Are you retired? Where are you originally from, LA? Well, I'm a native Californian. I was born in Mission Hills. So I'm not too far from where I was actually born. So I've always been in California. And my day job, I do office work. So I work in the corporate world, but I work from home. You've probably heard me say I have a home office. So ever since we had the COVID restrictions, we went from working into a big corporate building, which was not a lot of fun because it was a long drive and you had to go through all these checkpoints. And it was, now I have one of the rooms in my house I've converted to an office. And of course, the largest thing in that office is the dog bed. So Cash has his routine. So, you know, basically it's a lot of computer work, but it's necessary to keep the wheels of the engine of the machine going. So that's what I do. And you know, that's my my Monday through Friday job. Okay. It would be amazing if one day Cash met Brody, the dog, in TikTok. Well, remember, we have that TikTok video. It's not ours. It was shot by another, I think it was Alex Stemke, did that video, Cash the dog, and that really went viral. I'm going to tell you who I would love to meet, but they're just, you know, they're kind of far away. Of course, I would love to get together with the Great Dane channel. That would be so cool. If I was going to go out of state, I would love to do a collaboration with them. But there's this groomer called The Girl with the Dogs. And wouldn't it be awesome if I could take Cash in there? If she ever comes to California, she is going to groom Cash. I guarantee you that. And you never know. Maybe I've kind of toyed with the idea of maybe reaching out to Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. We'll see. I wonder if he might be interested. Oh, Cash, look at that, huh? Going to come up and get in the camera. He wants attention. That's what he wants. Oh, he's just a cuddle bug. Oh, look at this. No, you're going to pay attention to me. That's what he says. Is that your pool behind you? Yes. Let's see here. Right there. That's my pool. Got the shed in there. It's got all the pool equipment, and that's my yard. I decorated up on the wall over there so it kind of looks like, you know, fish netting, and just want to make it kind of like a resort kind of theme. You know, I have this kind of thought in my head that people that want to go on vacation to get away from their house, well, maybe they should spruce things up in their house so they don't want to necessarily get away from it. So that's what I did. And I've had some Great Dane meetups over here. In fact, you know, I should go through some of the old video that I've got. I think I've got some video. I have a lot of still pictures of some of the Great Dane meetups. And I think at one point, yeah, we actually had a Great Dane named Jessie, a fawn like Cash. And we actually, we got her to go in the pool. It was the only Great Dane that's ever been in my pool was Jessie. Let's take a look here. Cash is probably the same size as Cesar Millan. There you go. Maybe we'll put Cash up on Caesar's shoulders and see how that works out. How often do you see other Great Danes in public? It's kind of rare, but I'll always stop to say hi. I always have to check, make sure that that their dog is friendly. Make another short of him barking. We could do that. We should make more YouTube shorts. Let's take a look here. Is to take Cash of the girl with the dogs. That would be so cool. I would love to. Absolutely love to. It says, I think it would be great for Caesar to meet Cash. Did you get damaged from all the rain? No, because I make sure that I've cleaned the rain gutters and I have a pump that I'll put in the pool. I don't know if you can notice, but the level in the pool is actually really up there. So, but rather than having to put tap water in there, I figure if there's some free water from the rain, we're going to try to capture as much of that as possible. Have you ever thought about making a playlist on your channel? I've had a lot of requests for that. And, one of these days I'm going to do that. It's just I'm concentrating so much on, making new videos. It's a little time consuming, but it could be done. Now, I number my videos. If there's a location that I go to, like look at Santa Monica, we're over 100 videos in Santa Monica. Okay, so having the number, if you just search the numbers in sequence, it's all going to be there. And the reason I number them also is I want people to know there's no repeats. I have not recycled anything ever, always new videos. And I'll shoot several videos in a day, but they're all intended to be their own episode, I'm going to call it. Would you like if Cash broke out of some of his show training and loosened up a little? Yes, absolutely. I can give a toy to Cash and he looks at me like, what do you want me to do with this? I know I shouldn't touch it because and I wish he would loosen up a little bit more. And Cash is over there sitting by the door. No, Cash, you're going to be out here with me. So the sun has gone down, but I have the big light on over the pool. You can't really see it right now, but you will when it gets a little bit darker. It's going to get really bright in the backyard. I call it my daytime eraser. My nighttime eraser, not daytime eraser. I'm sorry, my nighttime eraser, because it just turns night into day. Oh, there you go. The Grove is a great place to shoot videos. Absolutely. And, real shout out to the owner, Rick Caruso. He makes it a point, even on his websites. He's the owner of the Grove and also also Calabasas Commons, where we've done some videos over there that, he loves pets. And I think that's really wonderful. More costume videos with Cash. Well, we have his lion costume. The bee costume I usually use around Halloween, but we have his lion costume, and I'm always open for new suggestions on that. Of course, around the holidays, we have our Santa. How about a reunion video with Cash and former show handler? I would love to do that. You know what? I'll reach out to Betty Jo, and let's see. I would love to do that. I really want to meet with Annette. I want you to meet some of Cash's litter mates. She's got him. You could meet Ty. She's always saying, oh, well, when I call her, she talks about Ty. I'm like, well, Annette, let me come over there. I will drive all the way to San Diego just to make one video if I have to. It means that much to me. And she usually, she says, well, I'm a little bit busy. I'll let you know. And, time just kind of goes on. More lion costumes with the roar. Those met with kind of mixed reviews, the roaring part of it. We had the little Bluetooth speaker in there. And remember, we took him to the LA Zoo, and I put the speaker in there, had the lion costume, and I went up to the front and I said, hey, one of your lions escaped, but I got him right here. Greetings and love from Germany. Hi. Are the veterinarians' costs the same as medical costs for humans? It can be pretty expensive. I have a friend of mine whose dog, it's a Brittany Spaniel, ate a refrigerator magnet. And the bill was over, oh gosh, I hate to even say it. Let's put it this way. You could almost buy a car with what it costs to get the refrigerator magnet removed. So, the veterinary costs can be pretty high. I take him down to Spring Valley. That's his vet is down in Spring Valley. And he's Gary Simpson. He's an amazing Great Dane vet. He does a lot of work for the Great Dane Club of California. So he really has the credentials. And has Cash worn shoes before? He hasn't. Now, we know Rowdy has the shoes because of a condition on his feet. But Kimba, he had some leg problems, and he did wear shoes. The only thing with shoes is sometimes they can cause a little bit of abrasion. And also, you want the pads of his feet to get a little bit of a workout, because if they don't, they'll get soft and then he's more likely to have an injury. How tall am I? Well, Cash would definitely be a lot taller than me. I'm around 5'9". So not super tall, but not super short either. And of course, Cash outweighs me. Let's see. What's something people should know about Great Danes that they may not know? Well, they're very needy and they want to be with you all the time. They have a lot of separation anxiety and they're real creatures of routine. The one thing I think everybody should know about Great Danes is when they lose their home, they take it really hard, like any dog would. But Great Danes take it especially hard. And I've mentioned in my videos before, I'm Cash's fourth home. So it took a while for him to realize, hey, this is my forever home. Now, recently I did a video over at Lake Balboa, and that's a lake down here in the San Fernando Valley. And I handed the leash to somebody for a picture. It's something I've done before. Okay, it's not like I've never handed the leash to anybody, but he held the leash for a long time. And Cash just looked at me like, nice knowing you. And at that point, I realized that. And I said, I need the leash back. And I took Cash home right away. So as soon as he got back to the car, he's like, oh, okay, false alarm. He's not getting rid of me. Of course, I'm his forever home. And let's see. Have you thought of going to a children's hospital or retirement home? I have thought about it, and sometimes it's difficult. You have to get certain credentials to go there. Can you continue to use your speaker to avoid copyright music like you've done before, and not bother with people think about music they don't like? I haven't used that speaker in a while, and I sometimes talk over it or I'll get out of the way of it. But I hate having to use it because nobody wants to hear that. And I'm going to tell you what that music is from. It's from an album called TV 67. I got this at a yard sale, and I can't find any copyright claims. I've run it through SoundHound, and it doesn't find any of it. And what it is, it's instrumental versions of old TV theme songs from 1967. And one of the things that intrigued me about that album, my last Great Dane was named Kimba. And it has an instrumental version of the theme song to the Kimba the White Lion animated TV show. So, it had that theme song, Who Lives Down, well, you can find it on YouTube. And it actually has an instrumental version of that. And that's really just a rare thing to hear that. Now, the topic of music. A friend of mine who owns a recording studio, and he's big time. He actually has Peter Frampton's recording studio in his house. He bought Peter Frampton's home studio and had it installed in his house. He is an absolute professional, and I've known him forever. I've known him, gosh, going back, I couldn't even tell you how far I've known this guy. And he said, hey, Steve, how would you like me to write a song about Cash 2.0? He says, you'll play it on your channel, and I'm going to put a copyright claim on it, and I'm going to get the revenue. And I said, do it. Yes, yes, yes. So we'll see what happens. There may actually be a song called Cash 2.0 that is about Cash 2.0, and it's actually going to be on a record, a real record. So I'll keep everybody posted and see how that goes. He says it may take him a few weeks to come up with it. But, and I kind of gave him I was kind of funny about it. I says, so can you do it in the style of like maybe AC/DC or something like that? He laughs and says, hey man, you'll like what I do. I says, just don't make it like a nursery rhyme. I want this to be legit. I want this to be really, really good. Something people will want to listen to, even if they have no idea who Cash 2.0 the Great Dane is. He says, I won't let you down. He says, I've been doing this my whole life. I know what I'm doing. So let's see what happens with that. And you'll hear it first here on this channel. And you know what? I'll even interview my friend Jeb, who would be the artist on that. This guy's an amazing guitarist. You can just name anything and this guy can play it. He's professional, you know. Greetings from the United Kingdom. Hi. Let's see. Montreal, Canada. Yeah, Cash official song. I mean, imagine that. A song about my dog that can generate a copyright claim. But I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I'm so for that. Let's see. Take a video of Cash eating his cake. You know what? Let's do that before it gets any darker. Like I said, I got some lights going on here. All right. So we're going to get Cash's cake here. Thanks for reminding me on that. Okay. Whoop. His number 8 is starting to fall. Let's do this. Oh, look at that, huh? I baked this form out of cake mix last night. All right, let's light up the candle here. Oh, you didn't like that. Okay, Cash, come here. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's get him in the frame here. Come on, Cash. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cash. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Okay, so let me get the server here. All right, it's the moment of truth here. Is Cash going to eat this cake? I'm just going to set this aside for right now. Come here, Cash. Come here. Hey, oh, I dropped a little on the ground, and you know what? Oh, you just sniffed it. Come here, Cash. Eat it. Come on. Okay, Cash, come on. Come on, cake. Come here. This is for you. Come on. That's good. That's a good boy. Come on. Come on. Uh-huh. There we go. Come on. Good boy. Come on, Cash. Come here. Come on. Okay. Remember what I said about priming the pump? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get the pizza. Okay. So here we go. Pepperoni pizza. Yeah, that's more like it. Come here. Cash. Come on. Come on. Okay, I thought he would eat it. So remember I said that's one of his favorites is pizza. He's getting all the little last crumbs. And as soon as he's done, we'll try to give him that piece of cake again. So a happy birthday to Cash. I'll finish what he doesn't eat. Oh, look at that. Uh-huh. Cash. Come here. I still got this piece for you. Come on. Come on. Oh, he says, why would I want to eat the cake when I got pizza? There. Ah, there you go. Ah, there we go. He's gonna scarf it down. All right, well, we'll let him enjoy that. And let's take a look at some of the comments here now while Cash is enjoying his birthday cake. How about liver treats? Yeah, you remembered. That's the only thing he's ever taken from somebody he doesn't know are liver treats. Can you give him a hug and a kiss for me? Come here. Oh, mwah. Oh, love you, Cash. Okay, you know what? Let's see if he'll take another piece of cake here. He's kind of eyeballing it here like, hey, you know what? This ain't so bad. Come on. There we go. We got that appetite going. All right, we'll let him finish that. Let's go back to some of the comments here. Hey, Jim, this is making me hungry, Cash. There you go. I wish you were here. I'd give you a piece of his birthday cake. Let's see. Does it get old people calling him a horse? Well, that all depends. Remember, I have fun with this. When people make those comments, it helps me make content for you. I want to show people what it's really like to have a Great Dane. Okay, I mean, there are a lot of videos out there that tell you what it's like to have a Great Dane. They'll start, well, here's the history of the breed. That's boring. I want to show you what it's really like. I want to show and this is why I don't, put together montages and do special effects. What I do is I go out there, I turn the GoPro on, I go for a walk. What happens, happens. Nothing is scripted, nothing is planned, and you see what I see. So, if you had a Great Dane and you're out for a walk, this is the way, this is what you're going to experience. So by watching my videos, you know what it's like to have a Great Dane. Of course, there's more to it than that. I got to take care of him and pick up after him, and the not as fun part. But Cash is he's just a love bug. Now there's different personalities. Not every Great Dane is going to be exactly like Cash. Okay, Kimba, he was a high energy Dane. He was all over the place. Let's see. What's the first impression when Cash meets Rowdy for the first time? They kind of just looked at each other like, okay, you're big. Not sure what you are, but you're big. But they're very bonded right now. Cash and Rowdy they nibble at each other. I mean, they're super bonded. It's funny because when Eric and I get together and we do a video together and we're out for a walk, and Cash will, if I try to separate myself from where Eric is, Cash is like, oh no, we're going right back here. And that's kind of a Great Dane trait. They want to be with the pack. You might have heard of some dogs being described as, well, this is a one-person dog, not a Great Dane. And Kimba was like that too, my Harlequin, where they want the whole family together. They can't stand it if any one member of the pack, right, is away. They want everybody there, and they will try to corral everybody to keep them there. This is what they want. And some videos I've watched more than once. There you go. I'm going to tell you something. My dad, and sometimes you're going to see him in the background because, I like to take him out, get out a little fresh air. And, he has, he walks okay, but he also, he has his little electric three-wheeler that he walks around. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of that off in the distance there. And of course, that's him. It's, he's one of Cash's biggest fans. He watches those videos all day long. So we've got over 1,200 videos on the channel now. It was kind of funny because I want to give a flashback to when I first started making these videos. And I actually had somebody make a comment and said, Cash is not your dog. You stole this video from someplace else and posted it on your channel. Shame on you. Well, I hope that person is still looking with 1,200 videos later that, Cash just might be my dog. But I'm pretty forgiving on that stuff. But all kinds of things happen. You got to have a thick skin to be a YouTube creator, because not everybody's going to be happy, and it is what it is. In my line of work, okay, I mean, I get it. I work in a corporate environment, but we work with different personalities, and you have to just learn that sometimes things that people say, you got to think of it like water off a duck's back, right? It doesn't stick. It's words. The old saying, sticks and stones, right? It's just words. And that's why, I don't let things bother me. If somebody says something that I don't like, I don't necessarily let it bother me. So, and I think that's kind of a life lesson too. There's too many good and fun things in life to dwell on what might be negative. Hey, another subject. If you notice, the lighting is kind of getting a little different in here because the sun has gone down a while ago, and here we are. It's almost 5:45 here. There, it just turned 5:45 on the computer here, and you can see that some of these lights. I have an overhead light that I set up over the table. I'm in one of the covered patio areas here, and I set up an LED light up there, and I have my 175-watt metal halide light that I use to light up the backyard. It'll become more pronounced as it gets darker out. So let's take a look at some more of the comments. I'm sorry. Hey, I once I start talking, that's it. I just get on a roll. So let's take a look at your comments here. Okay. Do dogs need a license there? Yes, the city of Los Angeles dog license. It says, you are strong. Oh, thank you. You need to be a strong leader sometimes with these giant breed dogs. They want you to be the leader. They always say about dogs, they don't always want to be the pack leader. They don't want the job, right? So Cash looks to you. Any specification to have a Great Dane, you got to have just a big heart, okay? Because these dogs just love you through and through, and they want that love back. That's how they are. It says, we love your dad. Oh, there you go. We'll show more of him. He's an interesting guy. I should let him just start giving a speech or something. I should bring him into a live stream. I almost thought about it. Maybe we'll bring him into the next one. He'll tell you all kinds of stories. He's a real storyteller. And he loves to show people Cash. In fact, when I'm out filming and he's with me, a lot of times what he'll do is he'll say, come on, Steve, just leave Cash with me for a while. Let me tell people about him. Let them make all their horse comments to me for a while. And of course I do that. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, Cash forgot about us. He disappeared. All right. What are you doing there, Cash? See, you can see he wants to go back inside, huh? What are you doing, Cash, huh? You going to come back over here, huh? Come here. Come here. Hey. What you doing, huh? Oh. Look at the camera. There you go. He's such a good boy. All right, we'll keep it a little bit of an angle. We can see a little more of him now. So let's take a look over here. Okay, let's look at some of the comments here too. All right. There we go. Kimba was cool too. We take her around in later years, and that was awesome. Kimba used to do the pet expos every year, but since COVID, they stopped having pet expos. I really was hoping that we would have a pet expo with Cash. I'm sure we would have a lot of people going in there saying, oh my God, it's Cash 2.0. But Kimba was a real ham. And when he started having orthopedic problems, I made a cart that was like a baby stroller. We got some videos on the channel of that. And when I first made that, they said, oh, he'll never use that. He knew. He was so smart. He knew that was for him. That was how he was going to get around because he was having leg troubles. I don't think Cash would fit in it. But, I sure would love to have taken him to a pet expo. And there would be other champion Great Danes over there. Just beautiful, beautiful dogs. There's some other dogs I would love to do some collaborations with through the Great Dane Club of California, but I'll have to see if they'll let me do it. We had one dog. This was going back a few years. There was a dog named Rebel, and he was so gorgeous. He was a Harlequin, which is the black and white spotted, looked like Kimba, but this dog was like 240 pounds. He was huge and gorgeous, and he was friendly, and he was like as big as a huge Saint Bernard. Cash was a little taller, but imagine showing up with a Cash and a dog like Rebel. But again, Cash, he's trying to nose the door open. He's like, I'm going to go back in. Nah, you're staying here, Cash. So he's kind of sitting down over here. He says, I'm going to sit over here by the door. What are you going to do, Cash, huh? You going to sit by the door? All right. That was my tablet turning off from non-use. It says, I love your voice. You can be a DJ at a radio show. I've actually had some people that I've talked to at work, and they'll say, you know, "Are you going to leave us and become a radio DJ?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so." But I have a lot of fun with YouTube, and you know, I do like to talk to people. And you know, as my audience, you are my extended family. Like I said, this channel is all about you. I read every comment. What are your thoughts on golden retrievers? I love all breeds. I had a friend of mine. He was a State Farm agent, big State Farm agent, and he had a dog, a golden retriever named Honey Bear. He would do anything for this dog. He says, "Hey, Steve, will you house sit for me?" He had this big mansion up in the hills. He says, "You're the only one I trust to house sit with my dog." So he says, "I'm going away with my family for a while. Will you stay up at my place?" I says, "Okay." So I'm thinking, okay, you know, how eventful can this be? Well, the dog would come in at 3 o'clock in the morning and want to play. Then, of course, we had a power outage. So there was a lot of things that were happening. Wonderful, wonderful dog, though. Just, you know, just most gentle, beautiful dog. And you can't go wrong with the retrievers, labs, retrievers. So I remember you said in your last live stream you tried doing a sub meetup, but no one showed up. You know what? I did an announcement at one time on a video, and I said, you know, if you want to meet me, here's where I'll be. And nobody showed up. But you know, it's funny, if I don't announce that I'm going to be somewhere, well, then people come up to me. "Hey, you're the guy from YouTube with the Great Dane. That's Cash, right?" You know, I mean, you see it. So, okay. And let's see. Play date off leash with Cash and Rowdy. You know, I've been trying to get something going with Eric, and I've said, and now I don't know if Eric is watching this live stream or not, but if you are, Eric, remember I've been saying, let me help you do a live stream on your channel, right? And what I think would be really cool, he can bring Rowdy here to my house, and we can have an off-leash play date and let Rowdy and Cash run around the swimming pool, go in the backyard. I have an area in the back for him. It's kind of like his own personal little dog park that I have for him. And you know, it's all decomposed granite on the ground over there. Let me see here. I wonder if I can show it to you. Let me see. The lighting's kind of bad. Let me just unplug something here. I've got pretty strong Wi-Fi here, but let's just take a little walk here. Okay. That's that big light I was telling you about. Might be too dark in here. Okay. It's kind of dark. Come here, Cash. Come here. Yeah, it's kind of dark back here. There's a lemon tree and there's some park benches. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn the light on in here. Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna just set the computer down for a second over here, and I'm going to turn a light on. I'll be right back. Okay, I turned the light on, and let's see if I can show a little bit. I call this Cash's personal dog park. Okay. Now you see what looks like a fire hydrant? This is actually a movie prop. This is a fiberglass movie prop. See? And we've got some park benches over here. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a chimenea. And some other benches. Okay, we'll go back out to the table over here. Okay. Come on, Cash. Come on. All right. I'm just going to set this down over here and plug it back in. Okay. So there we go. Little trip around my backyard there. Hope you enjoyed that. Cash. See, even though it's getting darker now, these lights I put up are really helping. You can see that big bright spot up on the monitor there. That's that metal halide light. I used to have that on my boat. That was my squid light. But I thought, yeah, I can use it more in the backyard. So, and like I said, maybe in the summer we can get him out in the boat. Okay. This looks like a peaceful neighborhood too. Yeah, it's a really nice area that we all know each other here. We look out for each other. Cash. They all know he is the guy with the giant dog that walks around the block twice a day at least. He's just such a good boy. He just wants to get petted. Does Cash sit on those benches? Sometimes Cash will sit down on a piece of furniture like a human. He sometimes will do that with his, with his front legs on the ground. Now, I'm not sure with the lighting if the picture may be getting a little bit grainy. Sometimes, these laptop cameras can be a little bit light sensitive. So I apologize if it's getting a little grainy as the lighting goes down. Let's see. No, we've been going for almost an hour now. Oh, so Steve knows I've been bugging him for years about the Boston Whaler. Yeah, let me see something real quick here. Hold on 1 second. We'll give it a few seconds for that light to warm up. And the boat's kind of covered up right now, but I'll kind of give you a glimpse of what. Oh, wait a minute. Does Cash want some more cake? He's coming over here to the cake. Come here. Want some more? Cash. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Cash. You're probably thinking I need to get some more pizza. Here we go. Okay. All right. He's going to be busy eating that up off the ground there. And let's take a look at the comments again here. I was waiting for him to sit at the In-N-Out. Yeah, there you go. Any idea how to get rid of seasickness when I'm riding in my boat? Well, everybody's a little bit different. For me, as long as I can see the water, I can handle pretty much anything. But, there are some medications you can get for that. There's also something called sea bands. And it's like a wristband, and it uses acupressure. It has a little ball on it. And for some people, those work as well, too. Also, eating some ginger is another trick that people use to avoid seasickness. See, he's liking the birthday cake. Now, if I was out somewhere, like let's say I would have done this at the Grove or somewhere else, he wouldn't eat anything. He knows. Will I have a Great Dane again? Probably. And I would adopt again, too. I would reach out to the Great Dane Club of California and kind of go from there. But I'm big on adoption. So that would be something I would want to do. If a breeder had a dog that was a return, like Cash, there'll never be another Cash. That's the one thing. He is truly a one-of-a-kind Great Dane. You can never replace your true star. And we're enjoying him. I get it. He's 8 years old, right? And we say, well, the lifespan's about 8 to 10. But we're just too busy living to think about that. And he's healthy. If anything changes, I will let you know. But we're just doing great. And this goes back to something that Renee had told me from Indian Dane Rescue. He had said because my dog Kimba at that time, he lived to 10 and a half. and Kimba had some medical problems, and everybody was just so surprised. How's this dog with medical problems still doing well? And Renee said, and this is exact quote. He says, the love goes a long way towards their health. So Cash gets a lot of love from worldwide. I don't think he knows that, but I transfer it through me from you to him. So he is truly. Here you go, one Dane at a time. Now that's something I want to touch on too. If you go to any of the social media sites geared around Great Danes, you're probably going to hear a lot of people say, oh, I have 3 Great Danes. I have 4 Great Danes. Great Danes are like potato chips. You can't have just one. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on that. I like them one at a time because the pack is going to be a little bit different when you have several dogs, right? You're maybe the pack leader, but it's still a pack of other dogs. When you have one, well, you're all they've got, and they've, and the other way around too, right? You have each other. So you're concentrating on each other. Also, even with my truck, it would really be kind of hard, I think, to get a couple of Great Danes in that truck. I certainly would never put them in the back. So I think just one works out great. In fact, I would not have been able to adopt Cash if he wasn't the only dog. That was a condition of his adoption, that he is the only dog. Lost a parrot. He was 60. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Parrots live a long time. I had a friend who had a crow as a pet. And that was very interesting. It flew away after a while, but that thing was pretty smart. And it could almost talk. You couldn't really understand what it was saying, but it kind of gurgled some sounds out that sounded like hello. But, because they have a raspy voice. But that was interesting. I knew somebody who actually had a crow, would sit on his shoulder. It was a wild crow, but then one day it flew away. Okay, my brother's pit bull, that's what a year ago, lived to be 15. 15 is amazing. Okay, what you're hearing there is my neighbor's German Shepherd. That's Rex. I know he sounds like he's going off like Cujo, but he's actually a pretty friendly dog. He's protecting his turf over there. Okay. Cash needs to get reweighed. Yeah, I need to check and see. There was one of the Petcos over here had a scale. I don't know if they still have it or not. I need to take a look at that. Maybe we'll make a YouTube short on that. One of the reasons I've avoided publicly weighing him is because if he's anything outside of that 165 more or less, the breeder's going to say you need to get him there. And he's just doing so well and thriving just with everything the way it is right now. So I just try not to rock the boat too much. And do a video of Cash having dinner. Well, here's what Cash does when he eats dinner. First of all, I call him the surgeon. Okay, right? Because he's very good at removing the treats. Because I'll take, if there's some pizza, I'm going to break up some pieces of it and I'm going to put it in his kibble. If he loves chicken, usually I'll cook a chicken, or sometimes I'll cheat and I'll go to Costco and get a rotisserie chicken, and I'll put pieces in there, and he will surgically pick them out of the kibble. I can bury them as good as I can. He will get the pieces of chicken out. Then he walks away and he'll come back about an hour later and finish the kibble. So that's kind of what he does. So it might be a 2-part video, kind of like the in and out. I did that as 2 videos, by the way, the in and out video, because, I shot it in 4K. And the first section was like 23 minutes long. And when I ran that through the editor, it was going to take like 10 hours to compile. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to put it in as 2 videos. So, yeah, we ate everything but the veggies, if it didn't have, dog slobber on it, I would have eaten what was left. But I'm like, nah, I'll get a new one for myself. Yep, it's amazing how many people love Cash. Well, that's it. He's the world's Great Dane. If you think about it, it's like Scooby-Doo is the world's cartoon Great Dane. You got the Marmaduke movie, right? But Cash is the real deal. And I think that in a way, he's kind of larger than life. You know, he doesn't know what a celebrity he is. He's just like, okay, this is just what it is. But he's everything to me. He is my world. And says the tree rejected a $500,000 offer for cash. Well, here's the funny thing about that. You might have heard me say in some of my videos that the breeder has, you know, frozen DNA on him. I use DNA because it's a nicer word, but there can be more Cash 2.0 puppies because of his genetics. He was bred from Jewel and Major. Those were two just finest fawn Great Danes in the country. So what they got, Cash 2.0 and his litter mates, and what's funny is she didn't freeze the DNA on the other litter mates, only on Cash. So if somebody wanted to pay money to have a Cash, we can make more. They'll be puppies. They won't be Cash, but I mean, he can sire more puppies. You've heard me say he sired 23 champion puppies. We can get more puppies. She has told me. In fact, she had said, you know, maybe someday you'll have a Cash 2.0 puppy. Like I said, I'm very big on adoption, but that might be something interesting in the future, but not for right now. But if she has a litter with Cash 2.0 as the sire, that could be very interesting. I would not name him Cash 3.0. We cannot ever replace Cash 2.0. But, you know, at this time, it's just me and Cash. And I don't really have any plans to take on another dog. Because, again, that was in the adoption agreement. They want him to be the only pet. And, again, it's just turning into a beautiful evening here. We started this video. The sun was up. The sun has long since gone down. And you can see, of course, the lighting by that metal halide light. In fact, I'll kind of step out of the way a second here. You can see how much it lights up the backyard. Now you can get a good view of Cash over here. So I call it the nighttime eraser. Okay, Cash. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back here. Okay, so we had somebody that wanted to see the Boston Whaler boat. All right, I'm going to take you over and show you part of it. Okay. I had to wait for this light to warm up. Now it's got a bunch of covers over it right now, so. But this is it right here. This is what they call an Outrage 22. That's the model. And in honor of Kimba the Great Dane, it has a picture of Kimba the White Lion on the side of it, the cartoon character, Kimba the White Lion. It's kind of covered by the loading bunk. I actually had the executive producer from Kimba the White Lion reached out to me. I'd put a picture of this out, and he had seen it, and he contacted me. And he was just amazed that somebody even remembered Kimba the White Lion. And that was the executive producer, Fred Ladd. But I know it's all covered up right now. It's a center console boat. It has a cuddy cabin in the front, which was kind of a rare model for Boston Whaler to have a cuddy cabin back then. So, but lots of room for Cash in there. Okay, we'll go back inside now. Come on. So you can see I really do have a Boston Whaler. All right, Cash, where are you going to go, huh? You going to come over here? Okay. Okay. I actually used to fish professional shark tournaments. This was a while ago, and we were actually on TV at one point. It's called West Coast Shark Masters, Scott Gurney Productions. And it was, you know, back when reality TV was really big, and, you know, we got our teams together. I fished on a couple of teams, Strike Zone and Olympic. We were actually sponsored by, at that time, Olympic Boat Sales, which was the largest Bayliner dealer. and they would give us every year a brand new trophy boat. And that was, the Bayliner brand of their sport fishing boats, the Trophy Series. And we would go out and we would pre-fish. And I had my buddy with me, this other guy, Steve, and he was the executive editor of Trailer Boats Magazine. So he's, kind of a real big shot in the boating world. And we hooked into an 800-pound shark. We released it, but that was really something. It was spectacular. We actually have a video of this 800-pound shark. We're estimating it by its size, that literally jumped out all the way out of the water like Shamu and made a big splash. But I can't put the video on my channel because it's been copyrighted by a friend of mine who was also on the fishing team. So he copyrighted it, but it's really spectacular. Okay, enough about the bow. This is a great Dane live stream, not the bow. This is Cash's birthday. Okay. What's my favorite thing? Great Danes. Let's see. Oh, about Cash. I didn't see that part scrolling. My favorite thing about him is his gentle nature. There's all kinds of personalities that dogs can have, but Cash is just so spectacular. He makes me so proud. And you've heard me say that in some of my videos, that he just makes me proud. And mentioned having a guitarist friend. Do you have any favorite rock bands? I like some of the harder rock. I like AC/DC. I think they're just spectacular. I like a lot of the classic rock. I like Aerosmith, and I think a lot of the newer songs I'm not quite as fond of. I like more of the classic songs. I don't like anything that's been created just simply on a computer. I think if you got to earn your way to being a rock star, you better understand some music theory and know how to play an instrument, not just fix it on Pro Tools. So you got to have some real talent. Of course, I like the Doors. I like a lot of the really the classics. You kind of like to see the shark. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little story, and this is an absolutely true story. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I was one of the last people in California to legally catch a great white shark. It's absolutely 100% true. You can verify it with the Los Angeles Natural History Museum. It was on TV. It was recorded in the papers. This was not recently. They're protected species right now, but at that time it was Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Paul Moyer was the anchor, and he came out and he did the story on it. And this was a shark that I actually completely landed, and I gave it to the Natural History Museum, so it went to a good educational cause. I mean, I'm big on conservation right now. These sharks are an important part of our ecosystem, and they're valued, and but it went to a good cause, and the shark is currently in the Smithsonian. They went on an exhibit, and it's in the Smithsonian. I gave it free. I donated. I have actually certificate from them, from the donation. So that's my little story. But again, I was doing shark tournaments, so sharks were kind of my thing at the time. I haven't done that in a long time though. But true story. Okay, and it's not a catch and cook. Just show the jump. I wish I could. It's copyrighted, and I promised my friend Brad, who was on my shark fishing team, that I wouldn't post it on my channel. So I wish I could. There was a channel. I don't know if it's still around. It was called sharks.us. I don't know if it's still around, but I think they had it on there. I don't know if that website is still around. But yep, save the sharks. That's right. They're an important part of the ecosystem. Okay. Car charting. Yep. Well, let me tell you just one more thing going back to the shark. Was I called the Natural History Museum, and I told them, I said, I have like to donate a great white shark. And they thought it was a crank call. And he says, well, I'm in the Department of Fishes. If you really have a great white, you know where we are on Exposition Boulevard. The next day I went down there, and I said, who's the guy I was talking to on the phone? His name was Jeff Siegel. He says, let me speak to him. He comes over, and the guy was just, his jaw was just hanging down. He says, you don't have a great white shark with you, do you? I says, in my truck. And sure enough, that's what they did. Then they gave me a little tour of the museum. There was a dead rhinoceros in this big, freezer they had. They said this was the rhino that died at the LA Zoo. It was just it was one of those experiences. But again, don't get me wrong. I'm not, saying that we should all be catching sharks and, taking them out of their habitat. I think it was the time it was a very, went to an educational cause, and now conservation is king. So, okay. So here we go. Let's see. It was my dream to be a marine biologist. Sharks are your favorite animal. They're fascinating. Cash, where are you? Where are you hiding here? There he is. We need to get a good view of Cash over here. Huh? Yeah, light sure lights up that backyard. That was the squid light on my boat. We'd use that to track squid. Okay, it says, I think I know how much attention Cash gets, especially when it comes to the amount of girls he gets interactions from, which is a bit funny. I do find that kind of interesting and kind of humorous in a way. People might say, well, how do you meet people? Have you thought about getting a Great Dane? I mean, if you really think about it. He's just such a people magnet, but really it's everybody is drawn to him. Oh, look at that. Emperor King is cool too. And talk about anime. There you go. I actually have a collection of Kimba the White Lion memorabilia. And because a while back, the executive producer and I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he was kind of somewhere between friend and acquaintance. And, I ended up getting some memorabilia from the show. I actually have some animation cells from Kimba the White Lion that were originally painted in 1965. I just thought it was kind of a cool show that I used to really enjoy. It was on Channel 52 back when I was younger on UHF, and then it just disappeared and never saw it again. I don't know if the Boomerang channel might have it. And there were a few different dubs, but the original 1960s dub, they had a few others as well. But does Cash watch TV? No, but Kimba did. Kimba was an avid TV watcher. Was funny because there was a Subaru commercial, and it would have a dog appear, and Kimba would bark at the dogs. In fact, I have some video of Kimba barking at dogs on TV. Maybe I'll make that a YouTube short. I also took some 4K video of Kimba when I first got my GoPro, and maybe I'll release a few of those. Kimba was quite the character. He was an absolutely gorgeous Great Dane. Are there any cougars like P22 in your area of LA? Yeah, there are. Now, I'm about a mile away from where the hills are. So I'm just a little bit further away from where where you might find a mountain lion. Oh, the mountain lions are in the Hollywood Hills and some of the other places. But we have coyotes where I'm at. We have raccoons, we have coyotes, we have opossums. And I've seen a bobcat out walking, but the real wilderness type areas are going to be probably about a mile away. Kimba loved the water too. Kimba hated water. Kimba, water to him, it was like, Kimba didn't even want to stand on damp ground. That's how much he disliked water. See, we have moose and bears. Oh, there you go. Sometimes I think Kimba's like my personal Bullwinkle. Let's see. Where is he over here? Come here, Cash. Huh? He keeps hoping I'm going to open those French doors and let him in. Is there too many cool videos on YouTube of dogs reacting to Lion King? Well, we have that Lion King for Cash here, right? We did some videos. We had him with Lion King at the mall. It was funny was because Kimba the White Lion was the inspiration for the Lion King. I don't know how many people actually know that. There's actually a website called Kimba W Lion, and it talks about a lot of the history on there. And that was the inspiration for it. The way the story I understand it is Bambi was the inspiration for Kimba the White Lion, and then Kimba the White Lion was the inspiration for the Lion King. So it kind of goes all around on there, doesn't it? Starts at Disney and comes right back around again to Disney. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have Bigfoot. That's funny. A friend of mine who lives in South Dakota, he actually had a sign made up on his property. It says "Caution, Bigfoot Country." What flavor cake are you celebrating with? Duncan Hines yellow cake. And I put some powdered sugar on it. Oh, the lighting is a little too intense here. What do you think, Cash, huh? Kind of reflecting a lot from the lighting. Oh, he wants some more. All right. Let me cut you another piece here, Cash. He's got a little bit of a sweet tooth going on here. Come here. Whoops. I'm bumping into something here. Come here, Cash. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. It's not going to give you any cavities. I'll put it on the ground. He'll take it on his own that way. Got some crumbs on the keyboard here. There we go. All right, so let's get back to what we have over here. And we'll probably be wrapping this up in about 10 minutes or so. I had to watch Lion King in high school for extra credit. There you go. That's a fun movie. I mean, it had a lot to do with the Kimba the White Lion TV show, but it's kind of fun to have both. Do you and Cash ever come down to Irvine or North County, San Diego? I've been wanting to make some videos down that way for a long time. I've just been so busy. I wish I had more time, but we have to get past some of this weather. That tail makes the costume. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, some people even comment, hey, it's got a tassel on the tail on there. Will you put a turkey plushie on his back for Thanksgiving as a costume? If I could find one, I'm going to tell you what I wanted, but it doesn't exist. My dream costume to put on Kimba was from the movie Airplane. They had Otto the autopilot. You remember the inflatable autopilot that was driving the plane in the movie Airplane? I was looking to see, they have one, but it's not good enough. I wanted one that was like true to the original. And if they had it, I would have bought it in 2 seconds. And that would have been hilarious to put that on him. But let's see. Do you ever plan on a YouTube collaboration? We will at some point, but we want to concentrate on making new videos right now. But at some point, we will. You probably hear some airplanes going overhead once in a while, too. They're going into, they kind of come by this way. They swing around and then go into Van Nuys Airport. It's the biggest, it's the busiest small plane airport, but it's actually miles away from here. It's just, the sound really travels. Have you noticed how when it comes to scared reactions to Cash, jumping, flinching, running away, it's mostly men? Yeah, and I think that goes back to what Annette, his breeder, was saying, that, Cash trusts women more than men. He's trusting a lot more. He's crazy about Eric. He loves my dad. But what was Kimba's favorite thing to do? Be in the car. Kimba loved being in a car. He could not, you had a hard time getting him out. He was like, no, I'm not getting out. It's too fun to be in here. He loved that. Shaggy costume was great. You know what else I have? I have a Quagmire costume. Somebody made a comment once and said that I sounded like Peter Griffin. Well, I actually have a Quagmire costume. And I had a friend of mine do a video with me and Cash in the Northridge Mall. Unfortunately, the video was really shaky. I don't know what happened. He just wasn't holding the camera that great. We'll make another one. And I had the whole costume. I had the blue pants. I had the actual Quagmire replica shirt. I had the black wig. I had everything that was Quagmire. And I was just like, oh, right. And nobody knew who it was. That surprised me. I mean, who hasn't seen Family Guy? And when was the last time he was weighed? Let me back when last time he had his physical. Oh, you have a beautiful backyard. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I kind of just did the backyard the way I wanted it to be. And I kind of wanted to go for that little resort kind of a theme, you know, places to sit and eat and barbecue. And as I saw that video, there you go. Have you ever had negative, bad experiences on your walks? Santa Monica. Other than that, it's been really positive. You know, I have some people say, you know, it's not fair for you to take that dog out in public because some people are afraid of dogs. We'll meet, what, 1,000 people. And you know what, maybe one of them might just kind of move 10 feet away. It's not, you know, anything anybody should be really afraid of. If anything, I think they'd be afraid of him in his lion costume. I remember, if you've watched some of my videos in the lion costume, there's people, is that a real lion? And I'll go, yeah, got him from the zoo. Are you going to make cash stickers? Eric's been bugging me about that. I've been bugging Eric about doing a live stream. He's been bugging, you know, he gives out those stickers. Have you seen that on his videos? You know, because he's, you know, an advocate for LAPD, you know, with the volunteer. He's with the volunteer cavalry. And he said, you know, why don't you make some Cash 2.0 stickers? And you know what, if I can get around to it, I definitely will, but I've got to get a graphic artist and, you know, make it really look good. Do I have an orange tree? My dad has one at his house. I have a lemon tree. I have a Eureka lemon tree. And I also have a pomegranate bush. Says, this video is a treat. Well, thank you. You know, I never know how long these are going to run. I can talk forever. That's kind of my fault on that. It says, fear of dogs is something to try to get over. Dogs are everywhere in daily life. It's like fear of birds. Yeah, but some people have been bitten. So it says, I watched this on Eric's channel. Good. Eric tries so hard to put out content, and he has some challenges that we don't have. Remember, Rowdy's a horse. He has a horse trailer. We went out to, we were going to do a Hollywood Boulevard video one time. You know, I've got some Hollywood Boulevard videos, and we drove around in circles. I'm not kidding, for 2 hours trying to find a parking space that would fit his horse trailer. Rowdy would be awesome on Hollywood Boulevard. There's so many places we want to take Rowdy, but you know, it presents some challenges. It, you know, he may be a little shorter than Cash, but it's still a horse, right? So, but I really got to, you know, just, I respect Eric so much. You know, he has a lot going on. He has his own family. You know, he's got a wife and kids. And so he's got a lot of responsibilities, and, you know, and he has to take care of his horses twice a day. He goes down and takes care of his horses. So he's got a lot on his plate, and he works too. He's not retired. And he tells me, he says, Steve, I just have to make video. I just have to do this for my audience. And he has that kind of passion like I have for my audience. The audience is everything. This is why we do what we do. We want you to step into our world, the world of Cash 2.0, the world of Rowdy, and just to get that experience. Let's see. The dude with the needle. Yeah. Remember that? That guy had said Liver King on his, that was in Hollywood Boulevard. It said Liver King on there. And it turns out, I guess it was somebody who was an impersonator. He had like a makeshift swimming pool in the back of the truck. He gets out, puts a needle in his arm. I couldn't believe it. But one thing I noticed was there were GoPros mounted all over that truck. So apparently there's some other social media channel somewhere that went to, and it was just some kind of a stunt. It was a little revolting, though, to see somebody get out and stick a needle in their arm, you know, but, you know, we were there with our camera. Yes, he's a YouTuber. Yeah. So there's a lot of YouTubers out there. And sometimes, you know, my audience, they'll pick out somebody that just happens to be in the background, and they'll say, you know, hey, this person's a YouTuber, or this person's a movie star or something. I'm not so good at picking them out. You know, I know a few people here and there. You know, I spent the day, I've met Burt Ward a couple of times because he has that rescue, Gentle Giants. And I met him and his wife, and he showed me some of his dogs. He had Monado, Batman, and Superman. Those were his his three largest dogs that he had. Monado was getting pretty close to the height of Cash. Cash had a little bit of height on him and outweighs him a little bit. But I actually have a picture that Bert took of Monado on my shoulders, and he's a big boy. I also have a picture of, I should probably put that on my Instagram sometime. I have a picture of me with Bert Ward next to the Batmobile. So Bert's an interesting guy, really smart, loves dogs, especially the giant breed dogs. He's just a really, really cool guy. And he has his own brand of dog food too, Gentle Giant's Canine Cuisine. And this is absolutely true. I was over at his house and we're sitting down with him and his wife and we're talking about our dogs. And he says to me, you know, if we ever had any kind of a big earthquake or something, you know, we could live on this dog food. And I reached into the bag, and I took some of that dry dog food and I ate it. And I looked at him. And he knew, and he was like, all right, he's daring me to do it. And he did it. So he actually ate some of his own dog food. I did too. It's just, as a joke, you know, it can't really hurt you, but we just did that just for the fun of it. So he's a really cool guy. I should look him up again. It's been years since I've been over to his place. Have I ever been hurt by a dog? I have not, but I saw somebody get bitten by a Great Dane when I was a kid, and well, you can guess what they did to get bit. I'm going to give you one guess, and that's always played in my mind when people make those horse comments. That, we'll joke about it all day long, but it's not something you actually want to do. So I don't think I know Cash wouldn't bite anybody. We had, when I was over there at that motorcycle event, the Ride to the Flags, there was somebody, I don't think they spoke English, and they placed their child on Cash's back. And I was really upset about that. And I says, hold on to him, do not let that child, get dropped. I was more worried about the safety of the child at that point. But it's not something that I recommend. I always look, I'm actually under contract with the net that Cash needs to be treated per the guidelines of the Great Dane Club of California. And those guidelines are you don't mistreat them. So, so when people ask me, hey, can you ride them? I says, yeah, in your imagination. That's the only way. Your imagination, all you want, right? That's why I don't really scold anybody for joking about it. It comes with the territory. Like I said, the water off a duck's back. Okay. Also, I want to translator app. There you go. I want to mention one other thing, and that is that, putting out these daily videos, I always have a stock of videos. I don't reuse anything. Nothing is ever recycled. And that's my promise to you, that unless I do a montage at some point, nothing ever will be recycled. These are all brand new videos. But whenever Cash has a birthday, every time I take him somewhere, everybody is going to ask, how old is he? And that dates these videos. I'll have some people say, hey, wait a minute, this video was shot back in the summer. People are in bathing suits. Yeah, because I don't want to just put out all the videos I have of one location. I like to mix it up a bit, right? So maybe you'll have the Grove one day, and then you're going to have Santa Monica another day. You're going to have Malibu another day. We want to mix it up and keep it interesting. But also to make sure that I don't run out of videos, you're going to still have videos out there. They're going to say he's 7 years old. Now, there's obviously nothing that he's 6 years old, and I'll try to get through those as I can. So it's going to be a mix of videos. Yeah, he's 7 years old. Yeah, he'll be 7 the day after Valentine's. He'll be 8. I'm sorry, he'll be 8 day after Valentine's Day. And you're going to have some videos going forward. Now that he's 8, I don't have any videos saved up yet that he's 8. And I would never try to deceive my audience by shooting videos in advance where I'm saying he's 8. I have not shot any videos that say he's 8. They will be going forward. But, it's some people might get a little confused by that. But that's just because I do have stock of videos that, so I don't run out. Otherwise, there's going to be days I'm not going to have videos for you. So some of these, they're new to YouTube, but they were pre-recorded. And, that's one of the challenges I have. If people didn't ask his age, it wouldn't matter, but they do. So keep that in mind. It says here, Steve, 1,000 videos, meeting at least 20 people per video, proof with 20,000 people, at least call Guinness. You know what's funny? My friend Diana, she had the world's tallest dog. I've mentioned this before, Titan, world's tallest dog. You can look it up on the internet. Titan, world's tallest dog. She called Guinness because she went to the vet, and the vet measured the dog and said, you know, and it was another lady that I really knew, an acquaintance, Sandy, and she had a dog named Gibson, and Gibson held the record for the longest time at 42 inches at the shoulder. And Diana's vet had said, your dog Titan is 42 and a quarter. If you thought about calling Guinness, you have the world's tallest dog. And she lived down in San Diego, dear friend of mine. And in fact, she wished Cash a happy birthday today. She sent me a message, and she called Guinness, and Guinness came out, measured the dog, and she got an award. She actually had the world's tallest dog. But along came another dog called Giant George from Arizona. And there was a bit of a dispute as to which one was taller. And it became a little bit of a controversy of which one was really the winner. But she has the plaque from Guinness, world's tallest dog. And she had said to me, you can have your little 15 minutes of fame getting with Guinness, but she says, I would never do it again. And that was interesting. And I was talking about that with Bert. And I says, because Bert had this dog named Avalanche that he said, now I didn't meet Avalanche. He showed me pictures of Avalanche, and he said Avalanche was 43. He says, I could have taken any record from just about anybody, but I don't want to be known for that. He says, I'm an actor, and that's not what I want to be known for. I don't want to be known as the guy that had the world's tallest dog. He says, I never turned it in. He says, I would have taken the record from all of them if I wanted to. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So there may be some world records out there where people are just not bothering. But it was kind of interesting. Diana said, if I had to do over again, I wouldn't have even gone for the record. But you know what? Now, if Cash were really the world's tallest, I would call him. Okay, I'd call him. Why not? Anything that we can do that's exciting, why not? As this Giant George lived near me in Arizona. I actually have the pictures of Giant George getting the official measurement, and where the controversy came in was where they put what they call the wicket. That's the measuring stick, of whether it was actually at his withers or higher up on his neck. And there was some controversy on that. You can read about that online. You know what I say? Hey, it's all good, right? The main thing is just that we have our Great Danes. We love our dogs. They're our family. They're everything. They're our personal stars, regardless of whether or not they get a plaque from Guinness, right? So let's see. And it says, hi, Steve. Tell Cash happy birthday and give him a scratch for me. Happy birthday, Cash. Huh? What are you doing? You can hear the neighbor out there? He's tuning into the neighbor. The neighbor's out playing in the yard. Okay, he's getting his scratch. Huh? You get your scratch? There you go. When you saw the woman with the same Santa doll, yeah, that was over at the Grove. That was the exact same plush Santa. Exact. That was great. Most photographed dog. If there was a way to prove that record, I'm sure Cash would take it. So I don't get to watch often, but I've been following you since your first video. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate everyone in our audience. Have you met a Newfoundland dog before? I have. One of my coworkers had a Newfoundland. Now, what's really cool is they like the water. I mean, if I knew somebody who had a Newfoundland, I'll bring them over here. We'll put them in the swimming pool. But they're really cool dogs. I actually thought about getting one before I got a Great Dane. I thought about it. It says, you have proof. Oh, there you go. Well, he's got to be he's definitely the number one Great Dane on YouTube, but I don't look at it as a contest. Like, my Great Dane's better than yours. I love them all. I'll collaborate with anybody on YouTube. Like I said, I wish I could collaborate with the Great Dane channel. I reached out to them and said, it would be great if we could do something together, but there's just such a large distance between us. Let's see. Other than Danes, what would your second dog breed be? There's so many really cool dogs. What's one that's kind of intrigued me, but I don't think I could really have it meet people. I've always been intrigued by the Alibi. It's a Central Asian Shepherd, and it's a herding dog, and they're absolutely enormous. And, I've always thought, wow, I wonder what it'd be like to have a dog like that. I've seen some videos of on them on YouTube, and they're like the size of a bear, you know. But personality wise, I don't know that I would get a Cash like personality on something like that. But maybe a Saint Bernard, maybe an English Mastiff, probably something like that. But Great Dane is pretty much going to be my breed. In the Apple store with Cash on the big screen. Yeah, that was right. That one time, that was the Apple store at the Grove. And they put them up on the big screen and they were demonstrating some of their things. Have you tried getting the chicken liver treats? I need to do that. That's something I definitely need to do. Was Cash genetically engineered by the Army? You know, what's interesting, and there's actually some documentation on this at one time. The military was looking at having Great Danes as attack dogs, and they could not get them to do it. All they wanted to do was play. So it was kind of funny. They thought, oh, a Great Dane, oh, we could, imagine what it's capable of. But the funny thing was, the dog only wanted to play. It loved everybody, and that's the way. That's just the way this breed is. And that's why I love them so much. This is Steve, remember me? I met you in Cash at 3rd Street Promenade. My name is Danny. Yeah, Danny, I remember you. How you doing? Thanks for joining our live stream. Are you going to go to some new locations with Cash this year? I'm always looking for new locations. Sometimes we lose a location, and it's always unfortunate when that happens. We lost. I can't go to Redondo anymore. I have one more Redondo video to release, and that's the end of it. And that was all shot that same day when that officer said, you can't bring him back here. So we've made a bunch of videos, and I've just been kind of trickling them out. I got one more to go. But Rowdy's welcome there. But we're always looking for new locations. Knowledge of dogs is quite vast. I'm amazed when I identify people's dogs accurately. We had one over at, it was at Rosie's Dog Beach. And I said, is that a Caucasian Shepherd? And he's like, you're the only one who's ever gotten that right. So let's see. Any more videos at the mall? It won't be the Northridge Mall, unfortunately, unless they change the rules. I really want to. Actually, I shouldn't say that. You know what? I could make some videos outside the mall. They got a nice little walking area, but our best videos were inside the mall. But we've got more than 50 videos at that mall, so there's always something to go back and archive on. I don't know what really changed with them. They were so dog friendly. Even at Christmas time, they would have a thing, bring your dog in, get a picture with Santa. So I don't know what spoiled it, because Cash was always on his best behavior over there. The business owners loved him, especially over there in the jewelry store. They loved him. At Kevin Jewelers, they loved seeing Cash. Can you show when Cash gets a tummy rub? Well, I got to get him to roll upside down. We could probably do something. We need to show more of what he does. Because probably dogs were pooping. Well, when we first went to the Northridge Mall, they said, the first time that dog relieves himself in here is the last time you're going to get to bring him. Cash never did that. Cash is very good about that. Remember that we had that one video, we brought Rowdy in there. Eric had filmed a video of Rowdy in the Northridge Mall. It was the same time that I brought him in there, but it was from his perspective and his camera, and it somehow got erased from his memory card. Really unfortunate on that. But, I keep hoping that at some point he's going to call me and just say, I found the file. And of course, it'll be on his channel. So, well, the time has really flown here. We're going on an hour and 45 minutes here. Where's the time go? I love you all so much as my audience. Thank you so much for viewing our videos. And, keep your suggestions going. I'm always looking for new places that I can bring him. I think somebody recommended the USS Iowa. We're going to take a look at that. Maybe the Queen Mary. We're going to look at where he's allowed. And, I wish I could do Universal City Walk, but I know they don't allow dogs there. Who knows? Maybe we'll try something over there and just see how long we can get away with. Maybe we'll try something like that. That would be a really amazing location. But we're always looking for new things to do. And, remember, I read your comments, and remember, this channel is all about you. And we're going to keep making videos as long as we possibly can. Again, with Cash's age, we're going to have to also think about what he needs too. If he's starting to get kind of tired, we're going to have to accommodate him on that. And, I'll always keep everybody informed about what's going on with him. If there's any changes with anything, I will not keep any secrets from anybody. My heartfelt thank you to everybody who's reached out to us, who's joined this live chat, who's wished Cash a happy birthday. And Cash is having a happy birthday, but right now I think what he wants for his birthday is to go back in the house, for me to fill up his dog bowl, get him some chicken, and he'd probably like a little more pizza, a little bigger piece than I gave him. And I want to wish everybody a really wonderful evening. And I look forward to more videos that we're going to be setting out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close down the stream. And thank you again for being the best part of this channel. And we look forward to a really great 2024. So we can put out some more content for everybody. And we're always going to be looking for new and innovative things to do. Thank you again. All right. Good night, everybody.